there. God bless you. I'm Karine, and welcome to the Supportive Environment. This is my mom teacher bag. Let's take a look at what's in here. Okay, so we have, some moms have what is called their mom basket, their teacher binder. I have a mom teacher bag, more specifically a backpack. I at some point had a basket. I've had different containers to put the resources that I use, but there was a video that I watched. It was over a year ago, about a mom who actually, she had everything in a backpack and she could take it anywhere. And this actually is great because that's exactly what I can do. I can use my resources here. I can take it with me on the car. I can take it anywhere. Okay, so what is a mom teacher bag? So as moms, we are homeschoolers. Well, you know, this channel is, I basically, most of the videos are about homeschooling. So I am a homeschooling, and usually the moms that watch these channels and the people that watch this channel are usually homeschooling as well. We have our own resources as well that we need to use. So, and sometimes we have to, well, the logistics of it, right? How do we organize it all? How do we, sometimes I have things by my table, which I actually have some things by my night table, but this works really well. And I actually had done it in the past, but then I forgot. I don't know what is it that I started doing. I forgot, and I just was keeping things in like on a table, not really like this. And then I remember again. So anyway, without further ado, let's take a look at what's in here. Okay, so the first thing that I want to share is this is actually a very durable bag. And I have this bag for a very, very long time. I've had this bag even from before I got my first child. And I think, if I am not mistaken, I think I got this bag at Target a very long time ago. This bag is waterproof, so that's very helpful, right? Because if we are outside or in the park or outdoors, in the backyard, anywhere, and it starts to rain, I am not concerned that what's inside is going to get wet. So, and it is, like I said, very durable. It has these two handles, and as you can see, it is a backpack. So let's see what's inside. What do I have inside? Okay, so this is a pencil pouch, and here I just have, let's see what I have. I have some pens, some Pentel RSVP pen. I have an erasable, two erasable pens. I have a highlighter. I have a chapstick or lip moisturizer because my lips get extremely dry, and I actually forget to put chapstick, and I just started doing it again today. And this is a lip satin balm, but this is really what I use. Okay, so that's what's in here. Now, I also have here, these are wired headphones. And when I am using my computer, I like using this. I don't like using wireless. I like using wired headphones. So I have that there. I have this notebook, and oh, there is another pen here. So I have this notebook. This notebook is where I write my daily to-dos, and also it's sort of like a brain declutter place. So when I think of anything, I write it here, but this is for the things that I have to do on a daily basis. And then it has a couple of pages with stickers, which I almost never use nowadays, but I put it here so that I'm reminded to put some stickers, nothing special, just to put some stickers. I think I have some stickers from, there was a phase back then that I was into stickers, and I have to use them because I have like a couple of sticker books that I need to get rid of because it's feeling like clutter. So this is what this is, my daily notebook. All right, so this is my planner, my homeschool planner. So I use this, and I do have also like a binder type of system, but this is really what I use. This is where I write what I plan to teach my kids, and I have found out that it actually works best for me. It works better than having a big planner. Even though, like I said, I do have a binder, and that binder I have the calendar and I use it as well. But this is my homeschool planner slash journal. So it is a homeschool planner, and it is also a journal because I journal homeschool ideas. You know, what are things that will help me to homeschool better. So I write any ideas here for homeschooling, as well as the lessons that I need to teach. And at the very front, I have actually the 2026 calendar at a glance. So I don't have to go to my phone to check the date or to check future months. I have it on the first spread when I open the planner, and I basically printed this and then just glue it to the journal. That's what I did. And this is for both of my kids. I use this to enter information for my son and my daughter. Initially, I was intending to use one for my son so that it will have only the homeschooling planning and ideas for him, and then another one for my daughter. But that wasn't working out because, like, sometimes I needed to use I needed to write something on my daughter's planner, and I had my son's planner at hand, but I didn't have hers, and vice versa. And then one day I just said, why don't I just simplify and keep it all on one planner? Both of my students, my children. And so that's what I did. I keep ideas and things that I have for our homeschooling, as well as things that I'm doing. It's also a record because I annotate the lessons that we have done, and yeah, this is great. So, and when this is full, then we just get another one. All right. Let's see what else. Oh, what do we have here? Okay, so these are resources for me as a mom and slash as a teacher. Okay, this book is on writing well, and as homeschooling moms, as a homeschooling mom, I'm continuing to learn and to educate myself, and I'm constantly reading books that can help me to homeschool better, to be a better teacher, not just to homeschool better, but to be better overall as a mom, as a person, um, how I can serve my children better. So, on writing well, and this is by William Zinsser, The Classic Guide to Writing Nonfiction. All right, what else do we have here? Ooh, okay. This book, The Elements of Style, that's the name of the book. The Elements of Style by William Strunk Jr. and E.B. White. Now, this little book, it's actually about how to write better, how to write composition, and it has like the most important things. So it's a small book, and I just started reading it, but I love it. It explains like some things that I know, but also other things that I don't know. And like usually when writing an essay, I think the more words the better, but in this book the author actually focuses on like eliminate needless words, remove words that are not needed there, and just leave like what's the real substance, and then work from there. I just started reading the book, but I love it already. So, okay, what else do we have here? Okay, all right, so here we have Laying Down the Rails for Yourself by Sonia Schaefer, and this is from Simply Charlo Mason. And this is about habits for me, for the adult. So that's what this is. There is Laying Down the Rails for Your Child. I have the book. I actually got the whole package. So this one is for me. To continue working on cultivating better habits, because I am a work in progress as well. Okay, another book that I have here is Men's Search for Meaning, and this is by Viktor E. Frankl. And this book, I have just read a few pages, just started reading it, and I think this is gonna be like an all-time favorite for me that I will revisit. So far what I've read has helped me to be even more humble, to pray for the entire world, for the entire humanity, because it will make you think deeply about humans. The Bible talks in the book of, I believe it's the book of James, that it talks about the tongue, right? It says that the tongue, with the tongue, you use it, you say words to bless, and with the same tongue, you also say words to curse, right? So it's like the same person that blesses also curses. And this book is going to it's going to help you to dive a little bit deeper into the human soul, and just it's gonna remind us that we really need to pray for one another. Anyway, I just started reading the book, but I recommend it. Let's continue. Okay, I feel that I have been reading this book forever. Change Your Brain, Change Your Life. Am I halfway through? I've been reading this book, and this book is very good. It talks about the brain, of course. Change your brain, change your life. It it explains how, like, how we need to take care of our brain, to take good care of our brain. Our brain really is like the central processing unit, right, for our whole being. It shows, the author shows scans of, like, when the brain gets injured, how it changes, and also like ways to heal, how the brain can get healed from trauma, and different things that you can do to make your brain better. So I like this book, but it's a little bit thick, and I am finding it a little bit repetitive at this point, because, like, it is showing scans, and telling anecdotes and stories from different people, and like what was happening before, and then how it got healed, and, like, the changes. Like, I already got well, I don't know, because I haven't finished, but I have gotten a lot of good out of it. I just really have to put it into practice, right? But it's feeling a little bit repetitive, so it's feeling a little bit hard for me to, like, continue reading it, but I will finish reading it. It's very good. Even though I feel it's becoming repetitive, this is a book that I see myself revisiting it time and time again in the future, even if it's just specific sections that I am most interested in. Wow, this bag takes, there were a lot of books there, okay? Like, it looks small, but and it's sturdy. It is very sturdy. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, please don't judge me. Don't judge me. I have here the curriculum guide and catalog from Rainbow Resources. So they sent me this a few days ago, and this is very interesting. This catalog, it has comparison charts of different curriculums. It talks about so many different curriculums. So anyway, I put it in here because, you have to have a variety as a mom, and as a mom teacher or teacher mom. Sometimes you're not in the mood maybe for reading things that are more serious. Sometimes you want something that is like, okay, let me just browse through this. So you need to have a variety, right? Because having these options is going to, I want to have resources so that I don't feel that, the only thing that I have is my phone. Let me just browse through my phone. So I want to have these resources available to me, and I based on my energy at that moment, I can go for some more serious readings, or maybe just flipping through a homeschool catalog and just looking at curriculum. All right, what else do we have here? Okay, I also have a timer, and I don't know, you may ask, why do you have a timer in there? Because, you know, this is not just for kids. It's a visual timer. I can see it. I not only have to, I don't know. I like having this. This works for me, for my brain. I like it. Okay. Okay, is this the last thing for now? Let me see. Okay, yes, it seems that this is the last thing for now. Last but not least, this is my binder that I was talking about. So this is a drawing that my son did with a heart a few years ago, like when he was much younger, and he wrote, "I heart you, mom." All right, so this is my binder, and in this binder, I'm not gonna go into details about it, but I just want to show. So I created, this is also a calendar at a glance. This is a year calendar at a glance. So this has the 12 months here. I actually printed this and I laminated it and I cut it like that, and I can still see, like, if I want to write on the side, I can do that. And then I just have some blank pages for notes that I want to take. And then the next thing, I have the monthly calendar where I make notes, and let's see. Okay, and this is a progress chart for Raystar Mathematics Level A that I made for Zoe. And this, actually, I want her to start coloring it as she does her lessons. She has done a few lessons already, but she hasn't colored anything yet. And right in here, I have this. This is a folder. So it's obviously hole punched. So I put it in here. It's plastic. And so I put here on one side, I put the History Bible literature from Sunlight that we're going to be focusing on for the week or until we get this portion done. And then on the other side, I have the science from Sunlight, the science notes from the Sunlight Instructor's Guide. And then when we finish that, we can then we, I put it back and then I take the next chunk of it. So that's what it is. Okay, and then here on this page, I used to have that planner that I think is a little bit popular because that's the reason I got it. But I ended up not using it really because I have to like create my own things, because planners, for some reason, I end up wasting so much paper, like, and I feel it, I find it more efficient and effective for me to create my own binder, my planning system or my planner system. But I took this page from, is that Homeschool Nest, that planner, where they had like curriculum progress, and I put it here, and then I put some of the curriculums, the core curriculums that my kids are doing, so that we can keep track of like the lessons that we have done or that they have done. And then my son is currently doing Raystar Mathematics Level C, and I have here the lessons sheets with the lessons that he has to do, and as they get done, he just has to check mark, or I check mark, because this is actually for me. I also have, I know this is a little far and you probably will not be able to see this, but I also have a sheet that I created, and it's called End of Month Review. What worked, what didn't, what needs to be done. And here, that's exactly what I write about. At the end of the month, I write about what worked, what didn't. For example, for the month of May, which today, not tomorrow is the last day of month, the last day of May. I'm tired. Excuse my rambling. Okay, so tomorrow is the last day of May, and I wrote already for the end of the month review. And I wrote, we have picked up the pace and are being consistent with our homeschool, focusing on all about reading level 3, Right Star Mathematics level C, all about reading level 1, Right Star Mathematics level 1. And then I also wrote Isaac's reading independently, Isaac is reading independently, higher level books. Zoe is reading with me, mom, with my assistance. And then monthly reflection, I wrote simplify. So that's for myself, to simplify, because that's actually, I am in a season of, I'm in a phase where I need to simplify, where I need to streamline the process and simplify. We still do a lot of reading and read alouds. But for this particular scenario, I want to make sure that we are being consistent with reading and with mathematics. And when I write reading here, I mean like explicit reading instruction, because the reading, that's a given. My son reads every day. And then with my daughter Zoe, she's learning to read. We are also doing that consistently as well. And then this is another sheet, and this one talks about monthly goals. So the previous one was about end of month review, and this one is monthly goals. So these are like this. I get to fill out before the new month begin, and I write what goals I have for that month and the things that I want to accomplish. And it's broken down into 3 parts. So it says monthly goals, projects this month, and at the bottom just some notes. And here, Right Star Mathematics level A pacing schedule. I printed this from the Right Star Mathematics website. It is for level A, and pretty much it just has like all the lessons, and you just check them off as you complete them. And it has the games, like on what lessons you have games. And here I have a checklist, not checklist, book list, and then just some more blank sheets of the monthly overview. Back here I have a couple of copies of Isaac's checklist. Just in case I need to make more copies, I have these copies over here. And I think that's it. Okay, so, and then on the back I just have some sheets for finance information, and something that I started doing recently, I have a sheet that has a prompt question. So it's like it prompts me to write, and it's the same question, it doesn't change. And the question is, how do I create the supportive environment I have been dreaming of since I was told about it? Because that's actually the name of my channel, The Supportive Environment. Um, there is a reason why I named my channel The Supportive Environment, but that's for another video. But how do I create a supportive environment that I have been dreaming about? And then I just write and write and write, and each time asking myself the same question, it just goes a little bit deeper and it gives me more clarity. This is actually like they do this with the why, right? Why, and you answer why, but then why? So it's to help you to go deeper and deeper and deeper to find clarity. So it's asking myself this question and to keep writing about it. What are the things that I can do to help create the supportive environment? How do I create a supportive environment? All right, and here are some notes for my daughter. Here is a drawing that she made. It's very clear. The phone is a little far, and that's pretty much what's in here. And this is what is in my mom teacher bag. I can put this even next to my bed. I can take it anywhere. It's just a system to get organized and to stay organized and to continue enjoying our readings and developing ourselves, because sometimes we tend to forget about ourselves, and we need to be well so that we can serve our children better and our loved ones, so that we can serve our loved ones and so that we can do God's work the best we can be, the best we can. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Oh, I almost forgot. Do you have a mom teacher bag, or do you have a basket? What do you have? And if you do, will you mind sharing what do you have in your bag or your basket? All right, thank you very much.